Hello, and thank you so much for attending our presentation. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce our team. Our team name is Team Data Visualizers 2, and first we have Ryan Smith, a major in Building Information Modeling. Then myself, Grace Combs, who's majoring in Web Programming and Design. And lastly, we have Jack Kinzig, who's a Data Visualization and Creative Writing major. Before we get into our visualizations, we thought it would be a good idea to introduce our audience and our major question. Our intended audience are people who are considering going into data visualization as a career and people who are already in the data viz field that want to see how the salary compares from work experience to data visualization experience. To better analyze the relation between salary and years of experience or data viz experience, we decided to break it up into three major questions. First, the overall question of how do the salaries between work experience and data viz experience compare when looking at different years of experience. For example, if someone has 3 years of regular work experience and another person has 3 years of data viz experience, do they have similar salaries? Our second question is there a correlation between years of data viz experience specifically and salary or compensation? And our third question is there a correlation between years of work experience in general and salary? We made two main assumptions about this data set. One is the survey data is reliable, and two, since money can be a sensitive topic for some people, that the responders were honest about how much they were making. Additionally, we'd like to point out that our filtered data set only includes those who reside in the United States of America. This is due to varying costs of living around the world, and in order to make the most accurate comparisons between salaries, we thought it best to choose one region and one that most people in the class will be familiar with.
The first step to our process was choosing which dataset to use. We chose the 2021 main data sheet and cleaned it down to just the columns that had the years of data visualization experience, the years of work experience, the annual pay, and the country. We then narrowed it down to just the people that lived within the United States and took out all the rows that had a blank space in them. This narrowed it down to just 716 people and allowed our visualizations to be more accurate. We then compared the salaries of work experience and data visualization experience from the people with 5 years or less of experience between the two. We found that much more people with 5 years or less of data visualization experience make $60,000 to $120,000 per year than the people with 5 years or less of work experience. Then we compared the salaries of the two categories from 6 to 20 years of experience, and we found that there were more people with 6 to 20 years of work experience that made $40,000 to $140,000 per year than the people with 6 to 20 years of data visualization experience. But there were more people with 6 to 20 years of data visualization experience that made over $140,000 per year than the people with 6 to 20 years of work experience. Then we wanted to check out the salaries between the two with over 20 years of experience. We found that there were many more people with over 20 years of work experience that made any range of money per year than those with over 20 years of data visualization experience. This could be a result of many people with data visualization experience making a large amount of money early on and retiring before 20 years of experience.
For this visualization, I wanted to look at salary growth when compared to both work experience and data viz experience. To do this, I took the average salaries at each amount of experience and plotted them on a scatter chart. There are a few interesting things to note in this chart. On average, having more data viz experience results in a higher salary, as seen in the chart, where work experience only passes data viz experience once in the 20 to 25 year range. The salary of people with data viz experience also seems to skyrocket as they pass the 20-year mark. The trend lines also reveal that both types of experience have a real impact on salary, with both R-squared values being above 0.8. However, data viz experience also edges out work experience in this measure, with work experience having an R-squared value of about 0.85 and data viz experience having an R-squared value of around 0.89. In conclusion, we found that there is a correlation between salary and both work and data viz experience. We also found that data visualization has a greater association with a higher salary, and experience in the field is more valuable overall in terms of salary. Thank you for listening to our presentation. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned something new.